In big political move news, submitted by Gotta Have Faith, city employees in San Francisco are now forbidden to do business with companies in 22 states that have restrictive abortion laws.
Forbidden.
What?
By state decree.
San Francisco's pretty democratic.
Yeah, they go like
They're
beyond.
Democratic, brother. They're fucking killing Democrats from 15 years ago for being too diet Democrat. Yeah.
Diet Democrat.
It's pretty hardcore over there though, like compared to LA.
Fuck yeah. So 9 states have already been on the city's list of banned places to work, like to do business with, and for like traveling.
They're left
business.
of Stalin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They make Stalin look like a fucking Republican.
Yeah.
I don't even know you could do that. So you could ban entry and exit into other states?
No, it's
like
association.
City business.
City business.
Saying don't use our money to go to these places.
Oh, shit.
So the states that are being blacklisted,
Georgia.
severe anti-choice policies are Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Nebraska, Nevada, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, West Virginia, and Wisconsin.
That's all the toothless white people states.
But 9 of those states have already been on the list because of their LGBTQ laws and policies.
But Nevada is like where Vegas is?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Like Nevada is quite.
Wait, Nevada? Oh yeah, I did say Nevada.
Yeah, it's a pretty red state. Like even though it's.
And then Wisconsin? It's trash. Wisconsin's
pretty red too.
Yeah, it's very red.
Country.
Well, no, it goes
They're like
back
swing, yeah.
because it's kind of a swing state.
Yeah, exactly.
The purple.
But they're on there.
But what I don't understand is what does San Francisco City have to do with like doing business with those states?
So this is what the mayor
City
said.
council bullshit.
Mayor London Breed said this.
That name sounds interesting.
London Breed.
Yeah, I like it.
So close to Bridge, man.
Maybe that's what it
It
is.
just made me think of a dog. It's a London breed Staffordshire.
London Breed Terrier.
That's good.
They got the worst homeless rate in the fucking country in San Francisco, and they're calling their heads up their ass with shit like this. That's what I'm saying. It's city council bullshit in that sense, where it's like, wow, couldn't you guys be doing a lot of other shit?
It's really, really rich and expensive, and there's a homeless person peeing on themselves.
People who live in San Fran can't even afford to live in San Fran.
Yep. But you know what you can afford is to subscribe to this channel.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
And it's not going to cost you a lot like living in San Francisco.
Anything, actually, it's going to cost you $0.
It's a click and keep that bell on.
A lot of the people who work in San Francisco don't even live in San Francisco because they can't fucking afford it. But their fucking people are working on shit like this.
Yeah, so this is what the mayor said. Every day in this country, women's reproductive rights are threatened, and we have to fight back. Just as we restricted spending with states that have laws that discriminate against LGBTQ people, we are standing up against states that put women's health at risk and are actively working to limit reproductive freedoms. By limiting travel and contracting with certain states, we are sending a clear message to states that disregard the right to abortion.
I mean, I'm all for, pro-choice, but when it comes down to restricting your choice of being able to spend or do business or whatever, I don't like that.
Yeah, so they're saying that the city officials, they know that the ban may not provide the financial blow in order for these states to be forced to rethink their anti-abortion.
They know it's a waste of time, yes.
But
it's symbolic.
Yeah, exactly, because they're saying that they hope that this move will serve as an example for others to follow.
It just means like don't use city money. That's all they're saying.
It's like walking into a coffee shop that has different views than you, and you go, I'm not gonna buy your fucking coffee, and then you leave.
So they're restricting city employees.
It doesn't do anything.
So they're restricting city employees to not use San Francisco taxpayer money to do business.
Yes.
So what they do on the side doesn't matter.
Okay.
But the idea is, don't use our city funds. But it's symbolic. It does nothing. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
All this symbolic shit can just fuck off. Actually do something for the people of San Francisco.
No, but that's why politics work, is because people give a fuck. So
Right.
that's politicians know how stupid people are, so they say symbolic shit. And then people are like, yes, they're making a difference. We're doing something. And then they forget and they post a fucking ass picture on Instagram.
Do something about the shit in the streets in San Francisco.
So I hate politics because every year it's like one side's like, let me show you why they're wrong and I'm gonna save you, vote for me. And then the other side's like, let me show you why they're wrong and I'm gonna save you, vote for me. And that's all both sides say. And then people are like, yeah, everyone's.
I think it's changing now with what kind of things the things that they're talking about on debates and stuff. It's a lot more different than we were kids and shit that they used to talk about. It's a lot of fucking stupid shit that they're just dodging questions and whatever. But now they're actually talking about things that matter, I think.
Oh.
Wait, what are you talking about?
What things? What?
I mean, like Andrew Yang. Like, I think that's why he's so popular.
There's a couple people,
like,
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
base income.
they're still trying to do cultural identity bullshit, but that shit is getting played out.
But the body politic is wrecking people like Yang and Tulsi Gabbard and the people who are not saying the party line bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's why the third party never gets to be existing, because the third party, you know, we never get a third party because even though it's way tighter, like not enough people are for it.
I feel like the conversation is changing though more than ever, like now. So it's not as, you're right, it's not as big and it's not on mainstream media, but people are sick of that and they want to hear some actual rational politics about things that matter. And that shit's really gaining traction.
But didn't you see that picture of Ellen with George W? Like, there's real hope for the world.
They actually bring that into this conversation and saying like this is so un-American. Like Obama's administration aide Joanna Mosca said it's dangerous. I would even say the idea of isolating someone you don't agree with is just not a good idea. It's not American. So they're like they didn't take note from.
Like you should be able to sit next to war criminals, I think, and like you can have a nice conversation. You shouldn't have to be pissed at them the whole time just because they're war criminals. That's what I think.
They're all war criminals.
I know, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, were you there when we did that one?
No, I wasn't.
No, I was here.
But I'm excited I get to have a little bit of input now.
A lot of people didn't know that the reason why they didn't like George was the whole war criminal aspect. And then and then the media
tax policy, dude.
No, the media tried to spin it to where it's like, how dare you sit next to a Republican or conservative when you're LGBT? It's not even about that.
Well, the media literally is part of the war machine.
I thought it was about that until the Mark Ruffalo tweet that they brought up, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, that too. But I liked the sentiment of like, hey, we should all be talking, because a lot of people don't even talk to people they disagree with, and I like the sentiment that you can be friends with people and still disagree with them.
That's true.
What I think.
I like that.
I would sit next to any African
that specific example, maybe not so great, maybe not so
American warlord, African warlord, also with an Iranian warlord.
That's true, because I have friends who are gangsters and cops.
See?
And at the end of the day, fuck people. All I care about is my friends and family. If I never met you, fuck you. Go to hell. Unless you're nice.
We've made it on the roster because before it was like, fuck people and my friends and family. I just want money. Thanks. You've changed.
Ellen should have George W. on the show and they should both dance in the beginning. I think that'd be really
I think that would change.
You should have like fake
that scare box thing. You know, she has a guest on and then there's always like a clown that pops out, scares the fuck out of you.
See, that would heal the world, I think. That would be the start of the healing.
But you do have to remember how irrational the majority are. You know, have you ever seen that graph where it's like, for every, it's all perspective relative to your group, right? So there's like the 80% of people that make about X amount of dollars, which is like the median income. And then you have like the next group, which is the 5%. And then within that, there's like a huge disparity within the top 5% of earners. You have a bunch of guys making like a couple 100,000, and then you have like the top of that, which is like 1,000 people. And then you go in there, it's the same group every time. So you see this disparity of like just hierarchy, right? You have the top movers like Ellen and the 1%, but even within that group, you have even more of a pyramid. And so
you're saying Ellen doesn't have to care.
Basically.
Yeah.
We're not.
But that's why.
And so what we don't understand is, even if we're out here making a couple of $100,000, right? We're rich to the global majority, but we still ain't shit, and we're not significant compared to the top movers of the world. They have a different type of mentality.
They don't even care if you tax them at 80%. Because they're killing it so fucking hard.
And how I'm tying this is going back all the way into politics, right? Mm-hmm. So they're moving the herd, and so we're more rational, so we get it. But we're never going to get to that point where if the herd isn't smarter, we're not gonna have real politics and we're not gonna have politicians that talk about real shit because our herd doesn't care about that. Yeah. What they care about is their feelings, is how people are treating each other.
That's what they're playing to them.
Yeah,
they're really smart.
Fuck about things that matter.
That's why I'm like, even if they're talking about things that matter, it doesn't matter because that's never going to be enough people listening to be a third party.
It's boring. That's why it's boring.
But I think we should humanize more things. Like if Ellen had a spy drone on her show and he came and danced out, and he fires Hellfire missiles and she's dancing with the U.S. spy drone. Yeah. I just think that would be a good first step to healing the world.
Or they do an oil bath challenge, so they get all of the oil that they stole from the Middle East,
that's really
and then they'll see who can stay in the oil for as long as possible.
George W. probably would, I think. I put my money on him.
Yeah.
He's probably used to the oil bath.
Right? And Dick Cheney's like, I doing good there, George. You can have him there as a hype man.
That's pretty, yeah.
So like one of the governors of these states, Nebraska's Republican governor, Pete Ricketts, tweeted out, Nebraska is a proudly #pro-life state, and this demonstrates shocking intolerance by coastal elites that is divisive to our nation.
Sorry, I fell asleep when you said Nebraska's Republican governor. I just snoozed right there.
That's probably like as big as one of our towns in California. Their whole state.
Yeah, no offense
the population of Nebraska is like
Pasadena.
Yeah, literally.
What if this causes like Civil War too?
Probably. No, but then like the whole thing here is the coastal elites divisive, that is divisive to our nation. A lot of people gravitated to that, saying like, yeah, that's exactly what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, but the pro-life, pro-choice is divisive. It already is. Like, it already does.
These topics are divisive.
That's why there are state laws, because the state decides on its own, like, if they are a community of people that agree this way more or this way more.
It's a representative republic, pal.
And it just sounds like they're a hater that we have a coast. Because the coastal part is unnecessary.
It sounds very luxurious.
The coastal elites with the nice ocean breeze.